What if a battlefield could be created overnight? Not with months of buildup, not with long columns of convoys crawling across continents, but with steel falling from the sky and thunder rolling onto the shore. That's the image America has just painted. The message? A storm of steel is gathering. And the question the world is asking is simple. Is this just deterrence? Or is America preparing for the unthinkable? Let's be clear. This is analysis, not advocacy. We're not cheering for war. We're breaking down what these moves mean strategically, what they reveal about America's unmatched ability to project power, and what options are left for rivals like Russia, who once thought distance gave them breathing room. Picture the opening scene. Apache gunships, legendary in Iraq and Afghanistan, are dropped into makeshift Caribbean airstrips by C-17 cargo planes. The moment their rotors unfold and weapons are mounted, they provide instant eyes and claws in the sky. Hours later, under the same night, massive sea-lift vessels dock at a Caribbean port. Their hatches open, and out come dozens of Abrams main battle tanks, steel giants with 120mm cannons gleaming in the spotlight. Crews swarm them, fueling, arming, and lining them up in formation. A bare port becomes a fortress. A coastline becomes an armored front line. If this were only a show, why bring the most lethal combination of U.S. firepower, Apaches and Abrams, to Venezuela's doorstep? Let's break it down. First, the Apache AH-64. This helicopter is more than a gunship. It's a precision instrument. With its 30mm chain gun, radar-guided Hellfire missiles, and ability to fly low and deadly, it's the nightmare of any armored column. In the Middle East, insurgents feared it as the silent death, appearing at night without warning. In the Caribbean, it could suppress coastal defenses, neutralize radar sites, and protect Marines in amphibious operations. The Apache isn't just support, it's the spearhead. Now, the M1 Abrams, often called the king of land warfare, this tank is both muscle and brain. Its Chobham armor shrugs off most anti-tank rounds. Its 120mm smoothbore cannon can crack open even modern Russian tanks, and its advanced targeting systems allow it to strike with near-pinpoint precision, day or night. But let's be honest, Abrams comes with a monster appetite. At nearly 70 tons, it drinks jet fuel like water. Yet that's where American logistics shines. What looks like a weakness, its thirst, is actually proof that America can sustain even the hungriest machines wherever it chooses. Meanwhile, Russia's T-72B or T-90 may boast simpler fuel needs. But that's like bragging your old pickup truck doesn't mind bad gas, while the Abrams is a Ferrari that brings its own pit crew. So how does this all get here? The answer is logistics, America's hidden superpower. The C-17 Globemaster III can land on short, rough airstrips, delivering Apaches and armored vehicles in hours. Sea-lift vessels carry entire armored brigades across oceans, docking at ports transformed into staging grounds. Behind every tank you see is a web of fuel trucks, spare parts, and maintenance crews. Behind every Apache is a chain of munitions deliveries and technicians. This isn't just firepower, it's infrastructure in motion. Compare that to Russia. Moscow can rattle sabers, boast about hypersonic missiles, or parade tanks through Red Square. But could it actually deliver modern armor to Venezuela quickly? Unlikely. The An-124 Ruslan is powerful, but its fleet is tiny, aging, and largely grounded after years of overuse. Russia's navy lacks the sea-lift strength to move heavy brigades across the Atlantic. In reality, if Venezuela wanted more T-90s tomorrow, Moscow might manage a symbolic shipment, but nowhere near the scale America can deliver. So let's ask the real question. When Abrams roll ashore in dozens and Russia's tanks arrive in handfuls, who's truly shaping the battlefield? Now let's consider possible scenarios. Scenario 1. Symbolic deterrence. America shows muscle to prevent escalation. The presence of Abrams and Apaches convinces rivals that any move against U.S. allies in the Caribbean would be crushed before it begins. Scenario 2. Active deployment. Abrams and Apaches aren't just sitting pretty. They take part in joint drills protecting ports, clearing coastal defenses, and practicing amphibious coordination with Marines. This is a rehearsal that doubles as a warning. Scenario 3. Unexpected conflict. If Venezuela spirals into crisis and Russia tries to intervene, America already has forces on the ground. The Abrams would face off against T-72Bs and T-90s supplied years ago. And here's the harsh truth. Those tanks, even upgraded, are outclassed. Abrams with depleted uranium rounds and modern fire control wouldn't just win. They'd dominate. So if the T-90 is Russia's so-called best export tank, why does it so often end up as target practice in Ukraine? Would Venezuela really want to gamble against Abrams with that record? Beyond combat, this deployment demonstrates something deeper: strategic readiness. America is telling the world that it doesn't just prepare for wars in Europe or Asia. It can pivot instantly to Latin America. It can bring overwhelming firepower to the Caribbean, a region Russia once hoped to influence through Venezuela. The message is clear: no safe havens, no uncontested backyard. Now the payoff. The sight of Apaches clearing skies while Abrams thunder ashore is not just about tactics. It's about psychology. It tells adversaries, don't miscalculate, don't think we can't be here tomorrow. For allies, it reassures, we'll bring the storm if you need it. And here's the uncomfortable truth for Russia. Despite its boasts of invincible weapons, it lacks the logistics, the mobility, and the alliances to match America's reach. The Abrams don't just fight, they arrive in numbers, sustained, fueled, and ready. That's a luxury Moscow can't provide even for its closest partners. So, is this just a drill, or is it preparation for something bigger? That's the debate. Some say it's pure deterrence, a show of force meant to prevent war. Others whisper it's the opening move of a larger strategy, a message to Moscow. If you push in Europe, we can counter in your backyard. Either way, one thing is certain. When the steel storm gathers, it changes the weather far beyond the Caribbean. So now I'll leave it to you. Do you think the U.S. is simply flexing muscle? Or is Washington preparing for real contingencies in Venezuela? And if Russia wants to answer, how many T-90s would it really take to face a wave of Abrams?